And now for the final part of this series. This will tie it all together and show how the various components of the portfolio work together to satisfy the requirements laid out in the statement of purpose. I call this section of my financial plan the Summary of Strategy and Portfolio Architecture. I will read it now while displaying the key figure of this section, and then make a few final comments on using a written financial plan to help you achieve your goals, whatever those goals may be. The figure above summarizes the portfolio architecture and maintenance strategy. It includes all of the main components. We have our income-generating component, represented by the value stock index funds. Some of these are in tax-sheltered accounts, some are not, and we'll need to decide how to manage that complication later. These stock funds will produce a certain amount of starting income, which is what we will plan to draw yearly out of a cash reserve fund. The cash reserve fund should start out with a balance equivalent to 2 years of desired level income. Over time, this cash reserve will grow. As it does, we can feel free to use the excess on discretionary spending, such as nice vacations or home improvements. If the cash balance drops below 2 years' worth of level income, then this is a signal to maintain spending at the initial amount. The buffer should be sufficient to withstand a weak business environment. The gold fund will be not only our insurance against adverse movements in stock prices, but also our main means of capitalizing upon them. It will be the bedrock of our wealth that will grow over time and allow our income to grow along with it. Every year, perhaps on my birthday, we should take a look at how far above or below the value of gold is in relation to our target of 1/2 of the value of our stocks. Whatever is the difference, we should take 1/3 of that amount and rebalance. This will allow our gold portfolio to gradually be deployed to buy stocks when they are weak, and then be replenished when stocks are strong. Adopting this strategy will enable stable cash flow for living, plus an ever-growing capital base to be taken advantage of later in life. So there you have it. This is the plan that I have in place as I enter Phase 2. It is quite different than the plan I had in place during Phase 1. During Phase 1, the objective was to build wealth quickly. The strategy was to save heavily and take advantage of what I calculated to be mispricings in the market. I made my big trade in early 2011 when I locked in my profits on a large amount of accumulated silver by exchanging it for gold at a gold-to-silver ratio of about 32. I continued to accumulate gold with my savings up to the present time, all the while also taking advantage of the tax benefits and matching of my 401k. I busted my butt at work to earn stock and option grants, which I exchanged for stock index funds when the awards vested. The combination of hard work, extreme saving, and judicious placement of assets allowed me to build wealth quickly. I have what many in the financial independence community call FU money, and I intend to start using it soon. Now the objective is more defensive. The objective now is to keep the wealth that was built and let it grow at a moderate pace while enjoying the benefit of the income it can produce. There is no need to save heavily. There is no need to take risks that my opinions are right and the market's opinions are wrong. I am still positioned in such a way that when the monetary reset occurs, which the math says that it must, we will become quite wealthy. But now we can be patient and wait for it while working for myself, doing work that I find rewarding, rather than working for an employer that I no longer respect. Everyone will have a different financial plan. It must be so, because everyone is different and in a different stage of life. Everyone has different aspirations, and everyone has a different set of circumstances. I encourage all of you to sit down, really think through where you want your hard-earned income to take you, and what your goals are, and how to deploy the savings that you fight so hard for to meet those goals. Write the plan down on paper, follow the plan, revisit it every so often, and see if it needs to be revised due to changing goals or changing circumstances. Your goals may be completely different from mine. Maybe you don't want to accumulate FU money so that you can walk away from an unrewarding job. Maybe your goal is as simple as saving up for a car that you can pay for without going into debt. Whatever the goals you have, you can set up a plan to get there. You can do this. And now for the final part of the